Now, swimming to France through the choppy seas of the English Channel isn't something that most adults would contemplate, not me anyway.
No, but a group of 12-year-olds were not daunted, and now they hope they've become the youngest ever relay team to cross the stretch. It took them 13.5 hours to cover the 21 miles. They even swam through the night as well, and they are waiting and hoping the Guinness Book of World Records to verify their effort.
Well, Danny Pirrett and Drummond Macmillan were part of the team. They're here, as well as their coach, Penny Porter. Also, congratulations, guys. It's fantastic. Drum, what was it like doing? Were you nervous before you went in?
Well, sort of, because it was like in the middle of the ocean, so it was quite strange. But we've done 2 years of training, so it was all right.
Whose idea was this, Danny? I mean, was it one of your mates? Who came up with the idea?
One of the swimmers, Lewis. He first thought of the idea at home, and his mum had passed it on, send pieces of papers around to clubs which said, would you like to swim the channel? And you would apply. And all of us had applied, and they'd done a kind of 7 selections.
But just tell me, Danny, when you first heard the idea, I mean, presumably most of the time you swim in a pool, or you swim maybe locally on the beach or whatever. When you first heard the idea, what did you think?
Well, I thought it would be a good challenge to kind of achieve if I did get into the team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Penny, just explain to us how it works, because they're not allowed to do it on their own until they're 16, so it's a relay, isn't it?
That's correct, yes. As I mentioned, Lewis Clark, one of the other swimmers, had the idea of swimming the channel, but you can't do it solo, as you mentioned, until you're 16, so his mother came up with the idea of putting a relay together. When we looked at all the details and all the facts, we discovered that the record had been set for the youngest ever team, so it didn't really matter about speed. We weren't looking for the fastest swimmers.
Right.
And then from there onwards, it's just sort of spiralled, and we advertised, as they mentioned, in the local schools and swimming clubs. We had over 50 applicants. And then we put them into cold water at a local lake in Bristol. And then from that, we sort of whittled them down. They've had vigorous selection processes, swimming in marine lakes and sort of dirty seawater. And
now, am I right in thinking that from the clips we saw there, you weren't wearing wetsuits, is that right?
No. Yeah.
So what was it? Was it really cold?
It wasn't too cold because we're used to it. Yeah, because we've kind of got used to the cold water because we've been in it so long training.
And swimming right out at sea, as you must have been, because you were, what sort of leg did you do, Drum?
I was the 6th.
So were you the last? No, there was 2 more after you.
He was the last
one.
one.
You were the last one, sorry, 6 altogether. So you actually reached the shore, did you?
Well, no, because if we don't make it in the 6th, we just start again from number 1.
OK.
So did you get to swim twice, then?
Yeah.
And you do what? How long do you do each swim?
An hour, yeah.
An hour. So when you're swimming for an hour, what are you thinking about? Do you get bored, or what was it like?
No, you basically think about you seeing yourself landing on the shore of France.
That's very clever.
And tell me, Penny, as a coach, were there problem moments? I mean, I know youngsters like this tend to just take things on and do them. They don't dwell too much on things. But were there moments when you were worried?
No, they've been an absolutely fantastic team, I have to say, really good to work with. And we've done so much with them, sort of team building. We've taken them to an outdoor activities weekend. And they've done so much as a group. They were just absolutely brilliant, supporting each other. I think some of them were slightly nervous about the dark because it was literally pitch black in the middle of the sea, so you can imagine what it was like.
Yes, because some people have... I mean, I know people who are quite confident swimmers who get quite anxious swimming in very deep water. You know, you become aware of the fact that there's that ocean beneath you. How do you deal with all that stuff going through your head?
Well, you basically just think about you swimming. You don't think about anything else that would, put you off. So,
and what about, are you swimming behind a boat, Drum, or how does it work?
Well, you swim up next to it.
Right, OK, so you've got at least the lights from the boat so you can sort of see what you're doing.
Well, yeah, but it was really bright on the swim, so it didn't really help, it just blinded you.
That's all you need, blinded as well. So do you think you'll do another big swim? I know you're only out of the water, 2 a.m. yesterday morning?
They finished at 2:30 yesterday morning, got back to land at about 6 o'clock yesterday morning.
What about another challenge? Are you up for another big swim?
Yep, we wouldn't mind doing it.
What do you think, Penny? They do something else?
I think they probably will do, actually. I think most of these will go on to do something.
And just tell us, because there was a bit of a deadline, because you were going for the youngest relay team. So presumably they get a day older every day,
Absolutely.
so there was a deadline ahead, wasn't there?
The record was set in 1968, and we were due to swim originally on the 17th of August. We sort of planned our birth dates around the 17th of August when we were selecting the team. We gave ourselves a couple of weeks' window just in case the weather was poor. which actually happened. So we didn't swim when we were due to. We spent a week in Dover hoping we'd swim each day, and obviously it didn't happen. So we went back to Bristol, got the phone call on Thursday night to say, right, you've got a slot tomorrow. So it was suddenly like, passports ready, everyone, off we go. And it's great. So we had until the 13th September to break the record.
And I hear you had a very special message from somebody who gave you a good luck message, Drum.
Yes.
Who was it?
David Williams.
And he got a hold of you, did he? Or he sent a message to you?
Well, we went on BBC Bristol, and he sent a message, and they read it out in his voice.
Brilliant.
Very good. Well, congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
get some good sleep later today.
Yes, you're going to come back and talk to us about it a little bit
much.
later. Go and get some breakfast as well. You probably need that too. See you later.
Lovely to see you.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks very much, Lem.
Now, swimming to France through the choppy seas of the English Channel isn't something that most adults would contemplate.
But a group of 12-year-olds weren't daunted, and now they hope they've become the youngest ever relay team to cross that stretch. It took them 13.5 hours to cover the 21 miles. They even swam through the night. They're waiting on the Guinness Book of World Records to verify that effort.
Yes, Danny Pirrett and Drummond Macmillan were part of the team. They're here with their coach, Penny Porter. Morning to you all again. congratulations. How are you feeling, Drum? Are you a little bit tired after all of this or not?
Yeah, because as we got up, we had to get off the boat at 4 in the morning, and then we only got a bit of sleep because we got woken up again for breakfast.
To come in here. Danny, talk us through the idea. We're looking at the pictures here. Now, this is some of your training material,
Danny.
yeah?
Yeah.
Is that you,
Yeah.
Drum, were you saying?
No, that's Danny in the white hat.
In the white cap. So how did you train, and what was the training like compared to the real thing when you finally dropped into the channel?
Well, once we were training, we would basically go in cold lakes, like old quarries, like Henley's Lake or something like that, and we had to try and get used to the cold water.
And Drum, were you a swimmer before you attempted this or not? Did you do a lot of swimming?
No, not really, actually. I found out by my friend, and then it just started from there.
And Danny, just tell us the tale. I mean, for a lot of people, you think, I would never dream of doing that. So was it one of your friends who thought of the idea and you just thought, well, I'm up for it?
It was Lewis Clark who thought of the idea, and so they sent notes around to swimming clubs and all that, and so I picked up a note and thought it would be a good challenge to achieve.
It's an amazing challenge, and it's a relay that they do.
That's
so there's
right.
6 of them in the team. How does it work?
They basically swim for an hour each, and they have 5 hours rest on the boat while the other swimmers go in turn. And they just keep going until they reach the French coast.
And the particular thing about swimming, deep sea swimming like that, what are the things that take people by surprise? You trained a lot, presumably.
Yep, we did.
But it must be different when you actually get out there and you're in the real thing.
Well, the first thing was the cold water, so we made sure these kids were really fully acclimatised to cold water so they could cope with that. Then secondly, there's things like jellyfish in the sea, there's fish. Did you guys see fish?
Well, you can see fish. And what about jellyfish? Did either of you see jellyfish?
I hit one with my hand right next to the side of me.
Did you?
Yeah.
And what did you do? Just carry on?
Yeah.
And you didn't feel it? It didn't sting
well,
you?
you could feel it just like hit the side of your hand, but it didn't sting me, so I just carried on swimming.
And you were swimming in the dark as well. How was that, Drum? Was that a bit scary or not?
Yeah, it was quite strange because you couldn't see anything, just the boat. Yeah, and we have little glow sticks attached to us, as you can see.
You know,
so they know where you are.
A lot of people say when they swim, from the beach and they go out a bit deeper, that they start getting really quite frightened when they know there's a big expanse of water underneath them. How do you cope with any of that sort of fear?
Well, we just think of us, just like getting to France and keep swimming.
And you've done it now, but you still don't know if you're in the Guinness World Book of Records.
No,
when do you find that out?
We're waiting for them to verify it, because basically the record at the moment, the youngest team isn't in the Guinness Book of Records.
Right.
But we think it will be, and we know what the record was, and we know these guys have broken it by an average of 8 days per swimmer.
And you talk about a rigorous training process, also choosing them as well. Was it important when they were born, so that you could go for the youngest?
Age was a very important part. It wasn't just the fastest team, it's those that could first of all cope in cold water, and secondly, obviously, birth dates was a very important factor.
Well, congratulations to both of you. And
Would you want to do it again on your own one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably will.
2 years. What have you got to be 16?
16 for solo attempt.
Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Get some sleep.
I've seen you yawning, Drum.
Thanks very much.